Hello, my name is Bree McCarroll, and I'm a psychotherapist located in Western Massachusetts. I specialize in the joys, sorrows, and challenges of our relationships. Today, I want to talk about something that I see a lot of couples struggle with, and that is the challenge of seeing overall the bad in our partners and the struggle to see the good in our partners. And I'm bringing this up because a lot of times in my work with couples, I do couples retreats and I do couples workshops. And oftentimes in both of those settings, what I see is that I'll be working with a couple and I will see and identify many positives that one of the partners has done. And the other partner will look at me and they'll say, I don't see that. I don't see that good stuff that you're seeing. And what's wrong with me that I don't? Am I just being negative? Am I just being too critical? Am I just being too harsh? And they almost kind of pathologize themselves that they are not able to see the good. So I today want to really talk about that and talk about what are some of the kind of factors that contribute to the reality that it might be hard for some of us to see the good in our partners. So with that being said, let's begin. So there are various reasons that we may not see the good in our partners, but I'm going to be talk about three. One is just evolutionary wise, we have been just created to not see the good, that we're actually biologically wired to see the bad and to be ready for the bad. And if you think about this in the bigger picture, when we were cave people, if you had two cave beings that came out of their cave, and one was focused on the beauty around them, they were admiring the flowers, they were checking out the water, or hanging out, looking at the kids, whatever, just really enjoying the good stuff, like kind of savoring. So you had this one being doing this one human cave person. And then you had this other person who goes out and they're like looking at the grass and they're like, ooh, that grass doesn't look right. I'm hearing some rustling. This doesn't feel good. There's something wrong here. There is something bad. I need to get the heck out because I think there's a saber-toothed tiger out there. And they run back into the cave, okay? Meanwhile, this other person is hanging out, enjoying the flowers, looking at the good. So you have one person in the cave, one person who's left out. The person who saw the signs that their brain was detecting, like, this is not safe, this is not okay, there are problems here that I need to be watching out for. That person, they survived. And this person who was loving life, enjoying the flowers, savoring, what happened to them? The saber-toothed tiger got them. Okay, a little dramatic, I know. But imagine if that happens again and again and again, that you have all these beings who might be kind of more positively focused, more just biologically prone to be looking for the good. They're not surviving because their brain is not sending the signals and putting them on guard enough to know, oh my goodness, I need to go back to the cave and keep myself safe. So because of that, they are not surviving and passing on their genes. Yet the other gang, the people that are a little bit more kind of looking for the danger, kind of protecting themselves, kind of making sure that things are okay, seeing the negative, those cave people are surviving because their brain is catching the signals, bringing them back to safety, and they are able to reproduce and keep on that line of going. So just through evolution, these people that learn to be on guard and were more protective of themselves and kind of looking for the bad, they survived. And so biologically, we have that weight in us, that we have that predisposition automatically from the get-go, that most of us are going to be looking for the bad. It is just wired into us. Okay? So that's one reason that we just tend to look for the bad. Okay? That's just us in general. Not only in our relationships, but in general. Okay? A second reason that we may look for the bad is current day. No more cave people. But current day, If you have had things happen in your past with your family or past relationships, you may have learned some bad habits, such as maybe someone was critical with you and you've learned to be critical back. Maybe someone wasn't dependable with you and you've learned to kind of second guess and kind of doubt and make judgments. You've learned some bad habits in your interactions with people. Maybe you've learned to, when someone gives you a compliment, you've learned to say, do you really mean that? I don't think so. You've learned, again, to kind of second guess, to kind of look for the intention behind the positive thing. You've learned some habits that have just evolved out of maybe self-protecting or because of just conflicts and problems that you had in your relationships overall, again, with family, with past relationships, or even current relationship. But when I say you've learned some bad habits, unfortunately, what has happened is you have learned some negative behaviors, such as being critical, such as being pessimistic, such as just noting the bad overall. That has become a part of your muscle memory. And I use that term because when it's in your muscle memory, it's happening automatically without you even thinking about it. It just is in you. And that concept of muscle memory, I can even give you an example of that in a different way. Like, I think about, like, when I am brushing my teeth, I have a certain way that I brush my teeth, right? That is muscle memory. I do that automatically without thinking. It is almost instinctive at this point, okay? If I lose my right hand for whatever reason, it's injured or whatever, and I have to do it with my left, all of a sudden I have to do it differently, and I have to be conscious, and I have to think about how to do this, because my muscle memory is used to doing it this way. How we interact with our partner is the same thing. If we have habits that have been developed over time, again, from what we either witnessed or what we experienced, but if we have some habits where we tend to be critical, we tend to be looking for the bad, we tend to be just reactive and not kind, those habits can become really ingrained in us and become very natural. They can become part of our muscle memory. And as a result, they do us. It happens without us even meaning for that to be happening, okay? So that's the second reason that sometimes it can be hard for us to see the positive, just because we're just stuck in that habit of that muscle memory. A third reason that, again, we may struggle to see the positive in our partners is just because in the bigger picture, as social beings, our primary relationships with our partners are so precious. We are social beings. We depend on this relationship. We depend on this attachment. It is like one of the most precious things we have. It helps us feel safe. It helps us feel secure when it's going well. Okay? But on the other hand, when it's not going well, we can psychologically feel really, anxious or depressed. Physically, we might struggle with sleep, etc. It's a big deal. When we are not doing well, we suffer. So because of that, at times when things are great, yay, life is good. But then if things change and we start getting disappointed, we start getting the signals from our partner that we are not okay, this connection does not feel good, it doesn't feel safe, that's a big deal for our mind. And our mind is going to react with that. Our mind is going to say, oh my gosh, I need to do something about this. And it's going to cope in various ways, which honestly, I'll talk about in another blog. But I will say, if nothing else, it's going to start doing some kind of defense, okay? It's going to protect itself. It's going to say, I can't trust the situation. And if that keeps happening repeatedly, it is natural that we're going to become just defensive. We're going to be on our guard for problems, for disconnections in our relationship. And the bummer about that is when we're on our guard, when we are anticipating the bad, expecting the bad, you know what's going to happen? We're going to see bad. It's called self-fulfilling prophecy, where If we are looking for the bad, we inevitably are going to see the bad, okay? So that being said, then what is going to happen is as we see the bad, we are then going to say, oops, I knew it. I knew I couldn't count on this person. I knew they were going to mess me over. I knew my partner. I knew they didn't have it in them. I knew they were going to hurt me somehow. I knew they were going to disappoint me somehow. So it validates and confirms those defenses. So those defenses get even stronger. And then as those defenses are stronger, again, we're going to see the negative, and it's going to keep feeding itself, so that in the end, it is so incredibly difficult to do otherwise, okay? Again, I am confident that you don't want to see the bad in your partner, but it's almost impossible not to at times, just when we have all these components involved. So that being said, I actually want to encourage that you do something a little different, just to try, just to do a little activity, just to work on this a little bit, okay? It's pretty easy. What I want you to do is I want you to write a list of 5 things about your partner that, oof, you do not like. These are kind of like the saber-toothed tigers, okay, from the first part. Write these things that are like, you're like, oh, this person, not good. They're not good for me because they do this, or this is how they treat me, that's bad, or things I just do not like about this person, okay? Those are the bad things, easy. And then on another piece of paper, I want you to write 5 things that are actually good about your partner. 5 things that maybe they're small, maybe they're kind of hard to see sometimes, but things that are actually something that you like about them. And it may take you some time, I get it, but write them down. So then you're going to have these 2 lists. What I then want you to do, this list of the 5 bad things, put it aside. You can trash it, whatever you want to do with it. Because no offense, you know those things really well. You do not need to have those in your face. You get it. You know those too easily. Okay? And this is actually what we're trying to kind of work on, is seeing all that bad. So put that aside. But these 5 things, I want you to work on savoring these kind of like flowers. Okay? What I want you to do is for the next week, every day, pull out this paper, maybe have it on your phone with like a list or something like in your notes section of your phone or whatever. I want you to pull it out. I want you to look at those 5 things. If you can read it out loud, that makes it a little bit stronger. I want you to take each one, read it out loud, and just think about it. Think about it as the good thing that it is. If your mind starts flipping it to a negative, try to pull back as best you can and make it a positive. We are just trying to savor these good things. I want you to do that with all 5 items and just do it 1 time a day, okay? At the end of that first week, then what I want you to do, because we're working on this, right? I would love, as best you can, put that list aside. Don't trash it, but put it aside and create 5 new flowers, 5 new good things. And with that, I want you to keep doing that. What I'm wanting you to do is to start getting more of a balance. I'm wanting you to start pushing your brain to actively start looking for some good things. If you do nothing, it's incredibly easy to stay with the bad. And if you're going to stay with the bad, bluntly, why are you even hanging out with this person? On the other hand, if you're trying to make your relationship different, if you're seeing if you can make things better, part of it is literally changing how you're viewing the situation, okay? Of course, every person has the bad and they have the good. Of course. And I'm not asking for you to just look for unicorns and sunshine in your partner. That's not realistic. But I am encouraging you that you try to consider some balance. It is not healthy for you just to see the bad, and it's not healthy for your relationship. So give it a try, okay? Okay. Again, my name is Bree McCarroll, and my website for couples is www.newenglandholdmetight.com, and for individuals, it's www.therapywithbree.com. If you like what you saw today or you thought it was helpful, definitely press that share button on your page, because that helps it go to other people. And gosh, the more people who might be thinking good things, it's a win, right? So let's do it. Okay, thanks again and take care. Bye-bye.